Coming up on today's show, Nissan effectively confirms the rumours were true by announcing plans to close its Barcelona factory and bring just one new electric vehicle to market in the next few years. Elon Musk confirms that the Cybertruck won't be shrunk down in size ahead of launch, and the largest electric airplane yet completes its first successful flight. These stories and more coming next. Welcome back to another 10. If you're like me, you're probably full of anger and frustration and fear and wondering how we got to where we are today. But I hope that for the next 15 to 20 minutes or so, you'll join me in catching up on the news of a different nature. And remember, it's okay to not be okay. Racism, violence, corruption and hatred have no place here. Thanks to the Electric Auto Association for their sponsorship of today's show. Find out how to join them and how to accelerate the switch to electric by going to electricauto.org. Last week, I discussed some rumours floating around about major restructuring at Nissan, caused by a dramatic drop in market share and turmoil following the ousting of former CEO Carlos Ghosn amidst claims of fraud. This week, Nissan confirmed those rumours, announcing a global 20% drop in production and the closing of its Barcelona production facility where the ENV200 is currently made, and where staff are already protesting the closure. At a special press briefing, the company also confirmed it will be bringing just 2 new electric models to market in the next 3 years. The Nissan Ariya, which will be sold in Europe, Asia and North America, and a Japanese-only market K-Class EV. The slides shown mention the Leaf and the ENV200, but Nissan's pivot away from EVs towards its e-Power series hybrids is really a big disappointment. Tesla has officially announced a series of price cuts to its lineup of electric vehicles, slashing as much as $5,000 off the price of getting behind the wheel. Combined, they drop the price of the Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus to $39,190, which is a $2,000 price drop. Meanwhile, the entry-level Model S now starts at $76,190, and the entry-level Model X drops to $81,190, both the result of a $5,000 price cut. Sadly, the Model Y remains the same price that it was before the price cuts, as it's Tesla's newest and most in-demand model at the moment. Mercedes-Benz has officially begun deliveries of its high-end EQV electric minivan in Europe, sharing the same body and chassis as well as a 100 kilowatt-hour, 90 kilowatt-hour usable battery pack and 150 kilowatt front-wheel drivetrain as a Mercedes-Benz EV Tow. The EQV is designed to be the more car-like of the two vehicles, with an interior that's closer to those found in Mercedes-Benz's cars. At €71,388, a price which includes a 17% sales tax, it's out of the price point for many, but with a choice of 2 different wheelbases and optional seating layouts for 6, 7 or 8 passengers, I'm thinking it's going to be quite popular with those looking to build themselves an electric RV, or those who regularly need to transport more than 5. For the last few months, there's been discussion of Tesla potentially changing the size of the upcoming Cybertruck to ensure that it's not too big to fit in standard single-car garages, can cope with smaller roads in markets like Europe, and doesn't go overweight on some markets' weight limits for private passenger cars. But this week, Elon Musk confirmed via Twitter that despite telling Jay Leno on this week's episode of Jay Leno's Garage that a 5% reduction would take place, Tesla is in fact keeping the Cybertruck the same size as the prototype. The reason? It was just too tough to change the dimensions while keeping the essence of Cybertruck. Musk hinted, though, when he made the announcement on Twitter that a smaller pickup may be on the way in the future for markets where a smaller pickup would make much more sense than the current Cybertruck. Watch this space. Lower gas prices have got some people worrying that the financial incentive to make the switch to an electric vehicle will be lessened. But during a media call this week that I was part of, Ford's director of global electrification, Mark Kaufman, said that Ford isn't worried at all that lowering gas prices will have a negative impact on sales of the upcoming Ford Mustang Mach E. Even with gas prices lower than they have been for a long time, Kaufman noted that other factors, including CO2 targets, means that a shift to electric is inevitable. Right now, he says the company sees 28% of its passenger vehicles being all electric by 2030. That's a big increase on the 2.7% electric vehicle share within Ford that exists today. There's more coming from Ford in the coming weeks, although I can't say anything about it, so keep your eyes peeled. Singapore-based company Azura Marina has officially celebrated the inaugural launch of its very first all-electric solar yacht, the Aquamania 40 Eclipse. Fitted with a 60 kilowatt-hour battery pack and a pair of 10 kilowatt electric motors, the yacht promises 24/7 operation thanks to a 56 square metre solar array on its roof. With 3 double guest cabins and 2 single crew cabins, the yacht is capable of cruising almost anywhere without stopping at a speed of around 4 knots. But if you need to go faster, it can max out at 10 knots if required. The downside? The price. At a cool $500,000, it's not going to be something you'll be spending next year's tax rebates on. At least, nope, I'm not going to go there. Ford has confirmed this week that its ongoing collaborative partnership with Volkswagen will see it use Volkswagen's MEB electric vehicle platform as the basis for an all-new European-only electric car. The MEB, for those who don't know, is the platform on which the Volkswagen ID.3 and Volkswagen ID.4 are based, and it's already underpinning a number of new promised vehicles from Volkswagen's sister brands like Audi, Skoda and Seat. While Ford does have its own all-electric vehicle platform, on which the Ford Mustang Mach E is based, it does make sense to use Volkswagen's MEB for a smaller, more budget-oriented vehicle that will suit European buyers. Volkswagen will in turn likely get Ford's plug-in hybrid drivetrain from its upcoming Ford F-150 plug-in hybrid, giving it a plug-in hybrid pickup model to use in Europe. Free supercharging has long been a purchase perk for Tesla Model S and Model X. At least it is if you happen to buy from a point in time when Tesla is actually offering it. Over the years, free supercharging has been offered as part of Tesla's referral program, and more recently, it was actually added as a standard feature to new Model S and Model X to try and boost sales of both vehicles when more customers are opting for a Model 3 instead. But this week, as part of those drops in prices that I announced earlier on, Tesla has removed mention of free supercharging from Model S and X. Sure, the Model S and X are now $5,000 cheaper than they were, but you'll be paying for supercharging just like everyone else. And frankly, I think that's a really good move on Tesla's part, as supercharging was never really making Tesla any money. As part of its push to get more people behind the wheel of the Chevrolet Bolt EV, General Motors has published a series of videos it's calling the Bolt EV Academy. Available on YouTube, they focus on different aspects of electric vehicle ownership with a specific focus on the Bolt. And while those who watch this channel and ones like it may find it's a bit old hat, it could help those in markets where dealers aren't known for their knowledge or support of electric vehicles. In addition, in markets where the Bolt EV is available, General Motors is continuing its massive cash-on-hood deals with up to $8,500 off the price of a new one if you're buying, or a lease deal as low as $250 per month. And now it's time for Short Shorts. Tesla has announced that its annual general meeting will take place on July 7th at the usual venue in California. Of the things shareholders will be asked to vote on is a proposal from a shareholder to spend money on advertising. Tesla's never done this before, and its board recommends against voting for it. A chemist at the University of Rhode Island has been awarded a subcontract with the Brookhaven National Laboratory to investigate the performance of electric vehicles at low temperatures. The contract is worth $480,000. Rivian has reopened its Normal, Illinois production facility following COVID-19. However, it's confirmed that production will initially be focused on building delivery vehicles for Amazon's zero-emission fleet, with the R1S and R1T pickup likely delayed until 2021. Tesla has applied to Chinese authorities for permission to start building Chinese market Tesla Model 3 cars with lithium iron phosphate batteries instead of the current chemistry used. LFP batteries are free from cobalt, but they have a lower energy density and a lower build cost. Eagle-eyed Rivian fans have spotted job postings on Rivian's job site that indicate that the company is looking for insurance specialists to join the company. This seems to suggest that Rivian will follow both Tesla and Mercedes-Benz in offering its own bespoke insurance for customers. An update from the Battery 500 consortium seems to suggest it's still a long way from reaching the target 500 watt-hours per kilogram, 1,000 cycle battery life the project set out to accomplish. It's got 1 year left out of its 5-year target to achieve its goal. Despite claims that its promise of new vehicles was some kind of front for Chinese investors, Karma Automotive has taken its quad-motor 1,000 kilowatt all-electric prototypes to the test track. There is no video of the testing at the time of publishing, only photographs. Aviation Total and Gaussian have unveiled the world's first fully electric aircraft refueler transporter, or ART for short. It will be used at Airbus's Toulouse facility to tow up to 2 fuel tankers to refuel planes. It's currently only a prototype, but could eventually be made into a production model available to airports. As part of the Cybertruck's appearance on Jay Leno's Garage this week, Jay Leno, accompanied by Elon Musk, took the Cybertruck prototype along the Boring Tunnels test tunnel next to the Tesla Hawthorne Design Studio. It just about fit. Air Liquide has announced its intention to bring new hydrogen filling stations to the market, which will be capable of refilling 2 700-bar fuel tanks at the same time. Previous versions offered a choice of either 700 or 350 bar. This new one should get more cars through in the same time. The French government has announced its plans to enact a massive auto industry aid package worth a total of €8 billion. It includes an increase in state incentives for EV customers. Business customers will get even larger incentives if they switch to an electric vehicle. Lordstown Motors has hinted that it has big plans for the former GM facility in Ohio, where it's going to build its endurance pickup truck. In a report this week, the company stated it's hoping that it can make 600,000 vehicles a year and employ up to 5,000 people. Renault has announced its own restructuring plans this week, cutting 15,000 jobs in a post-COVID world. Unlike its alliance partner Nissan, though, it is striving to focus on developing EVs for the A and B segment European cars, the very segments that could actually help getting more people to plug in. Swindon Powertrain, the British firm responsible for a run of classic Mini Cooper conversions, has already begun selling a crate motor for conversion enthusiasts. The 80 kilowatt-hour motor and drivetrain will retail from £6,400 sterling plus VAT. Elon Musk was busy this week in Florida ahead of SpaceX's planned first human flight to the International Space Station. The flight got scrubbed due to weather, but when Elon needed to stop for a supercharge on the way out to the Cape, it turns out that he waited in line just like everyone else. Well done for not jumping the queue, Elon. Good job. Toyota has begun delivering its Pro-Ace electric commercial vehicle, which is based on the same platform as a trio of PSA commercial vehicles we've covered previously on this channel. The difference? Toyota is offering a 1 million kilometre battery warranty, presumably as it's a marketing ploy since it's using the same batteries as the other 3 vans. Charging station manufacturer Tritium has showcased its plug and charge system for electric cars. It does away with RFID tags and smartphone apps and uses the car to authorise the station to charge through the ISO 15118 standard. It, of course, requires a car that supports the standard for everything to work. A new electric VTOL startup has exited stealth mode this week. Called Archer, the company is designing a fully electric aircraft which it says will carry 4 passengers and travel for up to 60 miles at speeds of up to 150 miles per hour. And those are your short shorts. There will be more next week. We all know by now that if you have a solar panel system on your home and your local utility supports it, it's possible to get negative electricity bills if it's been a particularly sunny month and you've managed to export more electricity to the grid than you've actually consumed. But what about getting paid to charge your electric car, even if you don't have a battery system or a solar panel? Well, for EV drivers in the UK last weekend, that's exactly what happened when Octopus Energy customers, specifically those with grid-aware charging equipment, were able to get paid to charge their cars. That's because the UK grid, which by the way has been coal-free for months now, was just simply producing too much electricity. The solution was to use the intelligent charging tech in grid-connected charging equipment to charge up customers' cars for free. It sure beats having to pay surplus charges for generating too much electricity. I mean, for the electricity generators, that is. And finally, we love ourselves all kinds of clean transportation on this channel, and we've been following the amazing developments in electric planes with keen interest for some really long time. Well, this week, electric plane specialist Mannix, in collaboration with ecoTEC, successfully completed a test flight of the first ever electrified Cessna Caravan 208B. Flown at Moses Lake, Washington, the flight was a complete success and lays the groundwork for passenger-carrying commercial planes in the near future. The Cessna Caravan is one of the most successful middle-mile planes in the world, and this electrified version can take 9 passengers, which is more than any other electric plane to date. I cannot wait to take my first electrified flight. What do you think? And on that note, it's the end of this week's show, but before I go, I would just like to thank the Electric Auto Association for sponsoring today's News Roundup show. They have been advocating for the use of electric vehicles since 1967, and they firmly believe that our future depends on us all making the switch to clean, green electric cars today. You can find out how to join, how can you become a local EV educator, where to attend local monthly meetups, or just talk to EV owners in your area about making the switch to electric by going to electricauto.org. I would love it if you'd like, comment and subscribe to this channel, and if you haven't yet, please consider supporting us using one of the links below. Although this period of time is very challenging financially for a lot of people, we've managed to stay afloat and we've cut back our spending in order to weather the storm and to keep everybody employed, which means we are going to get rid of the studio in July when our contract ends. But like many content creators, we are feeling the pinch of the impending recession. So if you can, we're always grateful of your support in whichever way you can offer it. And that includes making sure that you watch the ads, share our stuff, and engage with us on this channel, our other channel, and on Twitter, because it all helps the algorithms. I know we haven't done a Take Two hangout for a few weeks now, but I promise we'll try and make one happen very soon, so make sure you're subscribed to this channel, as well as Transport Evolved Take Two as well. I'll be back soon with another show, so please stay there. Thanks for joining me. Stay healthy, wash your hands, and as always, keep evolving.